Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Breanna D and this is Breanna D Beauty. So for today, I am going to be showing you my full coverage foundation routine. I have waited to do this video for a really long time because the foundation that I use has been out of stock for quite a while, but it is finally back and I am finally able to film this video. So before I begin, I just kind of want to tell you a little bit about my skin. I have oily skin, I have problematic skin, and I have a lot of acne scarring. So this foundation routine is very full coverage and it will perfectly cover anything and everything you have on your face. So let's stop rambling and let's jump into my foundation routine. So this is my skin completely bare. I did do my eyebrows for the most part, but yeah, I have a lot of acne scarring. Right now, for some reason, my acne is out of control and I don't know what is happening with it. Usually my skin is pretty good. I just have a lot of scarring from being younger and all of that kind of stuff because I did not have perfect skin. I've never had perfect skin and I still don't have perfect skin. But I'm not going to wait until my skin gets better to do this video because I feel like I am with a lot of people out there in the world that still don't have perfect skin as a young adult, and that is just how life goes. So I am completely fair. I wear the lightest shade of every foundation, and sometimes the lightest shade is always still a little bit too dark for me. So I have a lot of dark circles. If I have any tiny little blemish, it always scars and you always see a mark. So I have always been the kind of person that has had to wear high coverage foundation. So we are going to jump into how I cover that, how I do a full coverage on this face, and how I create kind of a blank canvas for the rest of my makeup. So I have zoomed you guys in just a little bit and so you can kind of see what everything that I'm doing. And starting off, I am actually going to get my hair out of my face. I just used one of these little guys, but a really good trick. I used to have platinum blonde hair. Now that I have the silver hair, I don't really have to worry too much about not getting any of the product into my hair because it doesn't show as much. But when I had platinum blonde hair, I would always worry about getting foundation, getting powder, getting bronzer into my hairline. One really good thing to help that is if you get one of those headbands that is fabric and that goes all the way around your head, and I would perfectly align it to my face so none of that product would get into my hairline and it would only get onto the headband. So my hair is out of my face. So starting off, I want to prep my skin. I'm just going to use a moisturizer to prep my skin first. I always use a moisturizer. Even though my skin is oily, I feel like if I don't put a moisturizer under my foundation, I just feel gross. I feel cakey and I feel dry and it's just because I use such a high coverage foundation. So for today, I am just using the Neutrogena oil-free moisture for combination skin. I jump around with moisturizers. There's not one that I really absolutely love. So for this one, I'm just going to do a couple of pumps and I'm just going to work that into my skin. So as you can see, with just putting on moisturizer, my face is already even more red from just touching it. That is how fair I am, and that is how fair my skin is. Going in next, I am going to use a primer, and today I'm using the Cover FX mattifying primer with anti-acne treatment. So this is going to help fight acne while it mattifies. Again, work it into my fingers first, and then I am just going to go and place this all over my face. I also bring everything down onto my neck because when I apply my foundation, I always bring it down onto my neck to blend everything out. And so you want to bring this product down onto your neck as well so everything just flows really nicely. It'll stay on your neck as well as it does on your face. So after I have applied my primer, I'm going to go in with my favorite product of all freaking time, and that is the Porefessional by Benefit. It's amazing. I love it absolutely beyond any product. If you get anything for before your foundation, it is this stuff because it's just a holy grail. Everyone needs it in their collection. So I take just like a dollop of it onto my fingertips and I put it on my nose and kind of in my T-zone where I have problem areas. And it completely just mattifies. It gets rid of every single pore you've ever had in your entire life. Like, can you guys see how red I get from just touching my face? It's ridiculous. I'm so fair. But my skin surprisingly isn't sensitive, which is kind of nice. So since I am so fair, I have to color correct before I put on my foundation. So I like the Naked Skin by Urban Decay color correcting fluid, and I use peach to color correct all of these dark circles and all of my hyperpigmentation that I have going on in my skin. So first I take it under my eyes, then I take it along where I have any blemishes, where I have any acne scarring, which is normally just like my cheeks, because that's where I tend to scar the most. I don't do a lot. Like, this looks like a lot. It's not a lot of product at all. I just dip it once and I spread it over my entire face. And I just use that to kind of blend it in. And it looks a little crazy now, but I promise once you get everything on, it doesn't look crazy. Then I take it over my eyelids just a little bit because I have all of those veins that show through, and then any little spots that I see. I almost kind of use this starting off, think of it as a concealer, but I am just correcting before I conceal. Then I'm going to take a damp beauty blender. Mine looks really dirty. It's because I have the black one and it never gets clean. I cleaned it today, and this is what I'm left with. So you're just going to start blending that in to the skin. So once that is all completely blended out, I'm actually going to go in with my concealer now before I do my foundation. Why I do this? So first I conceal with my concealer before I put my foundation on, and then I go in with my concealer afterwards, and that mainly highlights. So I like to conceal and highlight all in one with one product, and I use the Naked Skin Urban Decay Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, and I absolutely love this. And I'm going to go in under my eyes. Oh, also, I use the shade Fair Neutral because it is the lightest shade. And it has a yellow undertone in it, so I love that. Well, I blend that along there, and then I go in and conceal any of my problem areas on my face. I'm going to go in with my damp beauty blender again and blend all of that out into the skin. So already you guys can see the difference in my face from when we started, how it's starting to look a little more even, all of that. I like to do that before I go in with my foundation, so my foundation can really do the job and just make everything flawless. Now for foundation. My holy grail foundation of all time is the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. This is her brand new packaging, and might I say, it is just beautiful. One thing I love about this foundation is it comes in this like pump kind of thing, so you get every single bit of foundation once you pump it up. So I pump a few pumps of this onto the back of my hand, and I will show you. Oh, it's a new one. I do about 3 to 4 pumps to start, and then I take my beauty blender, as I've used throughout this whole video, and I dip it into my hand a little bit, and then I start dabbing that onto the face in random places, and then I just start blending it out. One thing I like to do I'm thinking of this while I'm putting on my foundation. What I like to do is I almost kind of like to work in sections. So I'll do like one cheek, then I'll start blending up here, then I'll get my chin, then I'll do my other cheek, and then I'll start on my forehead and like my temples and stuff. I don't really like to work like in one full scale and spectrum all in one, because I feel like I get overwhelmed and I have to work in tiny sections at a time, and that way when I'm done with all of it, I feel like I didn't miss anything. So then I also, with my foundation, go over my eyelids with it, because I have to conceal all of this that we have going on right here. I'm gonna have to go in and redo my brows again. This is lovely. I always do my brows after I do my foundation, and today I thought, oh, I'm gonna do my brows before I do my foundation, just so I can get that done. No. No. So once I feel like I have all of my foundation on my face, I work on blending it down into my neck. So I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender, and I'm going to blend this down into my neck. Just so I feel like we don't have a line. Okay, so once I feel like I have that covered, I'm going to go back in with my concealer, and I'm just going to bring it on the highlights of my cheekbones and under my eyes. This is not technically concealing anymore. I am highlighting my face basically with this. And start spreading this over my foundation. And I bring it in a triangular motion, and I bring it up onto the cheekbones. Just like that. I'm going to take my beauty blender again. If you've noticed one thing throughout this video, the only thing I use for my actual foundation is a beauty blender. Foundation, concealer, color correcting stuff, anything, beauty blender. So I'm going to start patting this under my eyes and blending this out onto the skin. So one thing you want to do while you're patting this out is you want to move in different motions. This is going to get the product everywhere, and it is going to make it to where your concealer and your foundation doesn't crease as much under the eye. If you go back and forth in every kind of motion you can in every direction, it's going to make it so it's not going to crease as easy. So just keep blending that out. And I like to blend it up onto my nose. Also, now once I have got my under eyes done, I am going to go in and highlight the other parts of my face. So I am going to go on the middle of my forehead, just kind of make whatever little design you want there. Down the bridge of my nose. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I am also going to go on my chin and a little bit on my Cupid's bow. So now once that I have all of my product onto my face, I need to set it. One thing I absolutely have to do with my foundation is set my foundation, because I am oily. So I picked up, I'm super excited to try this. This is almost kind of like a first impressions thing thrown into my video right now. Kat Von D came out with a new translucent setting powder, and I'm so excited about it. I am a huge lover of the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. It is what I always use to set my foundation, and I absolutely love it. So Kat's got some pretty big shoes to fill, and we will see. But one thing I really like about this is it's $8 cheaper than the Laura Mercier one. So let's test it out. What I do is I actually take her Shade and Light brush for contouring and highlighting. I was going to wash my brushes before this. I totally didn't. I take the light side because I find that it fits perfectly under my eyes, right where I need to set the crease of my eyes, where I put a lot of that product. So what I do is I take my beauty blender again. I pounce out where it has creased. I give it a little chance to sit, settle into the eyes, and then I almost let it crease on me, and then I pounce it out, and then I grab product onto this, and I set, and I do one eye at a time. So I pounce it out perfectly. I even go up onto my eyelid, because that likes to crease too. And then I grab a little bit of the product, and I go under my eye. Ooh. I like it. Alright. What do you guys think? I like it. I like it a lot. It's very soft. It almost feels lighter than the Laura Mercier one. We will see. Let me get it all over my face first to see. So it doesn't darken my makeup at all, and I freaking love it. It also doesn't create those tiny little dots that you get sometimes when you set under your eyes. So now that I have my under eyes set, I'm going to set the rest of my face because I am oily and I have to do that. I like to take a large brush, just a large powder brush. This is a Sephora one, and I've literally had it so long that I have no idea like the name of it or anything. It's Sephora Professional. I think it is a 41. Yep, it's 41. So if you guys want this powder brush, it is Sephora Professional 41, and I absolutely love this. I have been using this since like the very first time I put powder on my face. This is the first powder brush that I ever got, and it is the last powder brush I will ever buy unless I lose it, because I freaking love this brush. You want to pack the powder onto your face or else you are going to smear your foundation. So I just lightly go in. Oh my goodness, this powder, a little bit goes a long way. Goodness, it's very fine. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's nice. It's very nice. Thank you, Kat, for understanding. These powders are expensive out here, but oh my goodness. Alright. Alright. Well, you don't need as much as the Laura Mercier one. I feel like this is floating everywhere. Alright, so one thing I'm noticing about this powder is it doesn't make you completely matte. One thing about this is it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, which is kind of nice because her foundation is really heavy. I like it. So overall, I really like this powder. A little bit goes a really long way. You guys just saw that. So be careful when you're applying it. So I have touched up my brows just a little bit, and I have kind of let this sit on my face just to kind of see how I enjoy this powder with this foundation, and I'm going to say I really love it. I'm going to go in now and do my contouring and highlighting routine. So I'm going to go in, I will tell you what I use. I use the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, this one, and I just want to show you guys. It's dwindling. I use this palette so much that I actually have 3 or 4 of these just laying around my makeup studio because I will get low on like this middle powder right here and I just can't have that, so I buy a new one and then I just dab into all of them. Alright guys, so as you can see I have completely finished my makeup, and I used, for my face, I used the Becca Jaclyn Hill palette. This beauty right here, I ended up using the Blush Amaretto, and I mixed Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop for my highlight. And also for my eyes, I went really simple, did no liner, just a little bit of eyeshadow from the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon palette, and a little coat of mascara. And for my lips, I used Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in Carina. Carina? Carina. Alright guys, so that wraps up this makeup tutorial for my full coverage foundation routine. I hope you guys really liked this, and if you like kind of like tip videos and walkthrough tutorials like this where I just sit and talk to you and I don't really do voiceovers, please leave it in the comments below if you want to see more of these types of videos. If you like this video a lot, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe down below because I would really appreciate it. So that is it for this tutorial, and I will see you guys in my next video.